The gCADPlus drawing you see here consists of a PDF file. I've taken the PDF file and turned it into an image file and placed it in the gCADPlus environment, and I've scaled the image file so that if we zoom in here on a length of 523 and I use the distance command and measure from one end of the line to the other, you can see I get 524 there, and it should be 523. So this has been scaled, this image has been scaled such that distances that report back to us from a distance inquiry give us some values that are meaningful to us. So I'll zoom extents now and just zoom in here. The intention is to put some perimeter planting to screen the development in this area, and that development, that screening, can be done in a number of ways. What I've done is to use the library broad scale, and I've used the symbols for, say, large shrub and small shrub. But what I have done is, is fill them. Let's pick this symbol here, and I'll right click and edit that block, and I've picked the inner circle here and set it to fill, so that when I close the block editor, that symbol, which is for two rows of trees to be in the center of that area, and then there's two rows of a plant species on the outside. And if I pick this one here to give you an example of how it's done, edit the block, and then pick this one here and say, well, that's color 116. What I'm going to do is change the color to admittedly to a green, but to a paler green, and we'll OK that, and then we'll say it's filled. And then when we close the block editor, we can now see here's this band that's going to be representative of what will be planted along the yellow bands here. The distance measured here is 29 meters, so there's a 30-meter band right around the site. And what we're doing now is putting symbols on top of the image file to print and give the planning authority an idea of how the screening will be effected all the way around the design. Now, you may well want to label those symbols, the ones that are in this sample band, and you can do that with gCADPlus broad scale planting and label a group of symbols. So the first species to be attached to this, we might say this is the Atriplex species, old man saltbush, and we pick it. And is the tagging type going to be multiple or single? I'll say S for single and select the symbol, and I'll pick that one there and enter. Input the text, I'll pop it down here somewhere. I'll exaggerate the height somewhat and do that. So there we are. We've labelled that using the code that's in our plant list, so that there is the code old man saltbush, the code ATNU, Atriplex nummularia. So we could then label this next species, so right click and repeat that, select the species. The taller tree was a Allocasuarina, so we can pick it. We need to respond. Single is the label type. Pick the symbol, hit enter, input point, come down here, and we'll use the same height, and in we go. So can you see, we can label this little group with botanical names, and then we could print a little schedule too if we wanted, and then have that in our design. But can you see that there are various ways of presenting this information? My inclination would be to make a little sample group like this. I'd want to mix the plants up a little more so that we get a variety of trees in the middle zone, some other species through here, and more species towards the inside, because we want a variety of species in case there's failure of one or two species on this site. You definitely want that border planting to be nice and dense and screening effectively. I would just do a little band like that and then say in a note, the yellow strip around the outside of the site is to be planted according to this small group. You can make a copy of that group, put it somewhere else, and then generate a new layer. So I hope that helps explain how you can use PDF files, convert them to image files, then draw on top of the image file which has been scaled so that it gives real-world dimensions.